It is a hearty salad that packs a lot of flavor, here with a delicious way to add more nutrients into your diet in the new year. We welcome back plant-forward chef and educator Lauren Chandler. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Happy New Year, Hannah.
What a great recipe for this new year when we're all trying to be a better version of ourselves.
Yes. And it's hearty and filling and using winter vegetables that do exist. People kind of get in a rut in the winter time.
It's true.
But there's plenty around, like radicchio.
Okay, I love radicchio.
Me too.
And you can use it so many ways.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we're going to mix it up with some lentils and dried cherries and pine nuts.
Oh my gosh.
So what we'll do here is I already actually pan-fried some sage. So I just used some fresh sage leaves, melted some butter, and you can use plant-based butter or dairy butter. So we already have a hot skillet from that.
Easy.
And a little bit of butter in the pan already. And I'm gonna add a little bit more, and we'll wait till that kind of melts and sizzles.
Now, some of these ingredients specifically are in some new recommendations.
Yes, that's right. I'm glad you brought that up. So Dr. Christopher Gardner, he is a nutrition scientist out of Stanford who was part of the committee that came up with the the recommended guidelines and advice for the new dietary guidelines that come out every 5 years. So
amazing.
They should be coming out in the next stretch here.
So we're going to be on the right track already with these
That's right.
things.
And when he was asked to boil down, like just if you could say in one sentence, the most substantive takeaway, he said it's easy. Eat more beans, peas, and lentils, and less red meat. So lentils are like my middle name. I teach a class called Welcome to the Lentilhood.
Oh my gosh.
And I think I'm going to teach that again in February because there's so much you can do with them. Here I'm crisping them up.
Oh yes.
And you know, texturally, they'll just get nice and almost meaty. We're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. And if you didn't want to cook them up like this, just boil them and have them just like this. They're already cooked.
Yes.
We're going to add some pine nuts and some dried cherries.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to just stir fry them a little bit,
All
saute
kinds
them,
of flavors happening in here.
Yes. And they're going to get nice and crispy. You're almost going to like pop these lentils. You're going to see kind of the insides come out and turn a little bit white. And of course the temptation is to stir, stir, stir.
Okay.
But you got to give it a little rest to let it do its thing.
Okay.
Let it crunch from the bottom. And lentils, in terms of cooking them, well, first of all, you can get them canned or vacuum packed.
Oh,
so don't feel like you need to buy them and cook them.
That's nice.
But they're also really quick to cook. So you just kind of cook them like pasta.
Oh.
You know, make sure that there's no debris because they grow low to the ground.
Right.
So you want to make sure you can put them on a white plate and sift through.
Okay.
See that there are no
That's
pebbles
the hardest
or
part.
sticks. Give them a rinse. Put them in a big pot of water so that there's like, 2 to 3 inches above.
Okay.
Boil down to like a heavier simmer. And then just until they're tender.
Lovely.
And there's some lentils that don't hold their shape, like red lentils. So you just gotta know what you're going for. If you want to keep the shape, don't use the red lentils.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna just cut this radicchio in half, and then we'll take out the core here.
Okay.
But then we have all of this goodness.
That's so beautiful.
I'm just going to chop it into pieces. Now, you could have this as a completely warm dish and put the radicchio in there. But we're going to make it more of a salad. Like, I like the fresh components.
Yes.
In contrast with these cooked,
I'm with you. I like to have maybe a cool crunch and then some warm things to go along with it.
Yeah.
And you get kind of the full experience.
It's a nice contrast. The other thing to think about is radicchio is on the bitter side. Some people aren't really into that. If you want to dull the bitterness a little bit, if you soak it in ice water, that will help.
Okay.
I happen to like the bitter. Plus, I'm balancing it with some sweet. So the dried cherries and then the balsamic will balance out the bitterness.
We have so much happening here. This is going to be great.
It's going to be great.
Okay.
So I'll just chop up the rest of this.
And how easy to have this as your base that you're just chopping. That's literally
That's it.
the main part here.
That's the main part. And it keeps well in your fridge for a long time, too.
Oh, that's so nice.
And you could use cabbage, just chop that up finely. We'll put this aside. We're not going to use all of it.
Okay.
You don't need to use the sage, but it does add another really nice
touch,
flavor.
Yeah.
We have some ricotta on the plate, also plant-based, if you would like.
Sure.
And then
That's looking so
this is
beautiful.
starting to crunch out. We're going to go a little further with it. But now I'm gonna have you dress this salad.
Beautiful.
I just have a little salt and pepper.
Okay.
And I'll drizzle it. So I'm using this balsamic vinegar, which is on the thicker side,
Okay.
almost like it's reduced.
Sure.
But technically it's not.
Okay.
So in the recipe that I shared, it does say balsamic reduction. And I would just say either get a brand like this that's on the thicker side, or you can reduce it on your own. There are plenty of
Sure.
recipes online where it's literally just bringing it to a boil
Yeah.
and reducing it down. Or you can buy balsamic glaze or reduction. Just make sure that it doesn't have any sugar or other added ingredients. You
Okay.
just want it to be balsamic.
Right. Okay.
All right, dear, you ready to use those hands?
I'm ready. Is this the
Okay.
messy part?
Get in
okay.
there.
This is the very scientific method of.
It is,
Just-
because all those pieces are held together.
Yeah.
Right, you really want to make sure you get them
That
separated.
makes sense. Okay.
And
And
dressed.
it matches my top so perfectly.
Look
so
at you go. Look at all these shades of pinks and purples.
I love this. This is gonna be so. Oh, I can smell that balsamic is divine.
And the other thing you could put in here, like you could swap out the cherries and use some fresh, you could use pomegranate, you could use apple. Just kind of thinking about seasonality here.
Okay.
How's that? Does that feel good
What
to
do
you?
you think?
What do you think?
I think it's amazing. I
Yeah?
think my hands are so messy.
Okay, great. Here you go.
We have just about a minute left. So I
Okay.
think we're right on time
We're
to
gonna
get
plate
this
it up.
baby
So
plated.
I'm gonna just do like a little drizzle of the balsamic just to be
Oh,
for
I
more
love
flavor
this
underneath,
so much.
and also like a little beauty. Never heard a little,
Yeah.
little fancy color contrast. A little salt and pepper.
This is
And
a very
now,
impressive presentation here.
You know, and when you look at the ingredients, it's all really simple.
Yeah.
So it does look impressive, but you don't have to make it look impressive. You could just toss all this together
Sure.
and, you know,
Yeah.
call it good.
This is more fun though.
Yeah. All right. So now take some of these, put that like that.
Oh my gosh, look at
And
that.
then another little layer, because you know you get to the bottom and you're like, well, where's the good stuff?
Okay.
And then
Look
a
at
little bit more of that,
this.
and then let's get some sage on there.
This is beautiful.
Da-da-da-da.
So much nutrition, and I mean, I know there's a ton of flavor in here because we saw everything go in.
And remember, yeah, the lentils have a ton of protein, a ton of fiber, super good for you.
You gotta get to
They
some
keep you
cheesy
full.
goodness at the bottom here. I'm trying not to make an entire mess, but I need a big bite.
Good, good, good. Did you get some lentils?
Oh my gosh. I love that. And the creaminess at the bottom.
And you could use yogurt. It's nice to have that creamy offset for the radicchio also.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
This
you,
is so
Hannah.
yummy. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
We'll have this recipe and more about Lauren on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.